right, good to see everyone this afternoon. Just kind of what we see through video study with South Carolina, a little more time to prepare for them. I see a football team offensively that has big play capabilities at every single position. Obviously, we all know about Cooper and one of the best players in our conference. I think Wilds, the running back, is one of the best running backs in our conference. He runs behind his pads, is able to gain the extra yards. They have a veteran group of offensive linemen that have played a lot of football in their football program. I think the thing that really sticks out about this football team is they're going to challenge you on special teams. This is the stiffest challenge we've had to date in terms of the special teams game. The schemes that they do challenge you. They take away a lot of the things that you do. So we have to make sure that we really focus in on our technique. They have a very good kicker, a very good punter. It's difficult to get returns on them, and then they're very, very aggressive with their punt return team. And obviously when Cooper's back there, he has the ability to take it to the house anytime he gets his hands on the football. Defensively, very big and active, one of the best linebackers in our conference in Sky Moore. But big, physical, active, can play man-to-man coverage, like to play man-to-man coverage. So it'll be a great challenge for us. I think quarterback Orth is playing very, very well. And you can see him gaining more and more confidence with the more and more repetitions that he gains. The challenge that we've challenged our football team this week is Neyland focus, great home focus. And I think this will really show how much we've matured as a football team. And when you go on the road, you talk about road focus, and it's almost like you against everyone else. You're kind of isolated from everyone in a hotel. You really come together. You don't have much distractions being on the road. Well, when you play at home, your distractions become more. They become a little bit different. And we talk about being a great home football team and an honor and a privilege to play in 102-455. And we have to understand that maturity as a football team of what it really takes to play at home. We all know the last 2 years, the last 2 games, the games have come down to the final play of the game. And so, again, this is going to be another 60-minute, if it's multiple overtimes, whatever it takes to get the job done. But we've had a good week of preparation in terms of injuries, so I'm staying ahead of you, Dustin. Kendrick will be out, so he did practice a little bit yesterday, but not quite game ready. Jayshon Robertson is still questionable. We'll know a little bit more how he progresses throughout the course of the week. Preston Williams is kind of the same deal. He will practice today, so that's encouraging. And all these individuals have worked very hard to get themselves back, and really appreciate their efforts. So I'll know a little bit more on those individuals as the week continues to progress.
Coach, Eric Berry is the legend of the game this week. Is he going to do anything with the team this weekend? And then after everything that he has overcome, how emotional will this weekend be just for the team, since he's pretty close to most of it?
Well, he's been back. He was on our sidelines for another game, so he's been around our team, so it won't be the first time that we see him. But, Vol for Lives, they mean everything to our football family and our football program. And anytime, you welcome them back, especially an individual like Eric Berry. And, it's great having his brothers here and those family ties. But, he'll be around our football team all weekend. He'll be around our football team at the hotel. And then I got a call, and Deion Grant wants to come back and be a part of our football team again and be in the hotel with us. And to me, that means everything. When you have former players coming back, that's what we're all about.
As you said, the past couple of years with South Carolina, the games have been pretty close. Are you anticipating another close game with them this year?
We always anticipate close games. That's what college football is all about. So every game we go into, that's kind of been the flavor of the season, the nature of our season. And we knew that, going into this year, that, 2 to 3 plays can define a game. 4 to 6 plays can define a season. And you never know what plays are going to be the difference between winning and losing. And those plays don't necessarily have to occur in the fourth quarter. it can be the first play of the game. So, you know, we're anticipating a hard-fought game that's going to go right down to the end, just like most SEC games.
Steve in the front, and Danny Parker in the back.
Just going back to those last two games with South Carolina, what have those games meant to your program? Obviously, win over a top 10, top 15 team 2 years ago, and then last year, that overtime comeback. What have they meant just for the momentum of the program?
They've been great building blocks. Our players have learned a lot through those. You know, in the process, I still go back to the first game and when Michael Pilardi kicked the winning field goal, and these are all things as a coach you continue to rehearse and talk to your football team about. But, you know, with the 10-second runoff, we had no timeouts left, and we ran the clock down to 3 seconds and then spiked the football. If our offensive line or anybody would have flinched or jumped, the game would have been over with. And those are all things that, you know, a lot of people, you know, like I started thinking about the question on Monday, and I'm switching gears on you. Well, why haven't you thrown the ball, you know, with the backup quarterback in? And we have 5 healthy wide receivers. And so we don't have backup wide receivers. So all of a sudden we throw the football and we have a young man get hurt, and you guys are asking me why you're throwing the ball at the end of the game and getting somebody hurt. So, you know, everything is how you look at things. The glass is half full, the glass is half empty in everything that you look at. And, you know, I think the South Carolina games, you know, they've meant a lot to us in terms of resiliency, resolve, finding a way to win the game. So I go back to the first game, you know, we found a way to win. I think also managing a game, I believe there was 2 minutes and some odd seconds left, maybe 3 minutes. We had the ball 4th and 4, 4th and 6, and about the minus 47-yard line, and we didn't go for it. We kicked the punt, and we were able to generate getting off the field. And then we had a short field, and that's you know, Marquez North made a big catch on 3rd down. So I think the game management lessons. You look at last year's game. That team was very determined and very focused to win the football game, and we found a way to win the football game. So, you know, each year is different, but you continue to build off those experiences.
Danny in the back, then Dustin, Troy, and Heather.
Coach was looking for an update on Cortez Sapp. Is he a linebacker? Is he a safety? Is he healthy enough to contribute on teams later in this year? Is he in line for a medical red shirt? Or?
Well, first of all, we have to get Cortez back healthy, and he's not back yet. So right now, you know, he would be a medical red shirt. Now, if he can help us win games down the stretch, but he's doing everything he can to get back, but he's a linebacker. You know, when we were, you know, avoid at safety in terms of depth, you know, we moved him there, but he's a linebacker in our program. But right now, he's still trying to get his foot back healthy.
Dustin, then Troy, Heather, and Seth.
First, wanted to ask a couple quick updates on Stephen Griffin and Jason Kroom. Also, you mentioned Vero Cooper before. What are they just doing well with him, I guess, in terms of moving him around? What are kind of the things you got to keep your eye on in terms of how they get him the football?
Well, they do. They're able to distribute the football to him in every way, shape, or form, whether it's a wildcat and playing quarterback, or, you know, where they do a great job is formationally. He's able to line up in the slot. He's able to line up on the outside. On the perimeter, he's you know, able to be number 2 in trips. Sometimes put him at running back. So they do a great job, I think, with the overall flexibility of their system. They have a high inventory of plays that they're able to get him the football. He can throw the football, as we found out. So, again, he can do so much. They do a great job with the screen game of involving him, too. So we have to know where he's at. But the thing that they have is they have very good players around him, too. The other receivers are very good, really good tight end that can run. He's one of the best players we've faced on kickoff, on their kickoff team. So they do a really good job of having other players around him. In terms of Jason Kroom, he's not ready yet, progressing, but not ready yet to even practice yet. Stephen Griffin was back at practice, kind of re-aggravated his ankle. So as of right now, you know, he's probably doubtful for the game.
Troy, Heather, Seth, Mike Strange, and then 1 or 2 more.
You talked about last year's South Carolina game. Just specifically, how much confidence did that game give Josh Dobbs? And he was a pretty instrumental part in that comeback.
he was an instrumental part in the comeback and showed great poise, great decisiveness, great leadership down the stretch. You know, they always say the mark of a great quarterback is the ability to lead his team from behind in the 1-minute drill on the road. And we had some players step up around him too, and that was a great maturation game for him, so to speak, and he's continued to build off that.
I know you said he was steady, but have you seen maybe a renewed sense of confidence in Aaron Medley this week after hitting the 44-yarder versus Kentucky?
I saw a more determined and more focused Aaron Medley last week in practice and in his overall preparation and even on game day. You know, to his credit, he was very relaxed. He's done a great job of really going back to the basics and just, you know, working on being smooth, you know, with his stride and all that. So I see a lot of confidence in him. Our players always have confidence in him. We do as well. But I see more focus and I see more calmness in him.
Going back to Mosley's targeting suspension, there's not an appeals process in place at this time. Is that something that you and maybe some other coaches would like to see the NCAA change in the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, you know, I would like to see that process change. And, you know, you're talking about a young man who, you know, basically did everything that we asked but rap. And, you know, the SEC has done a very good job in the way they've handled it. You know, there is no formal appeal. The appeal is basically when it goes to replay. But I do think that when you're involving a suspension, that you should be able to have an avenue to be able, or a forum to really go back and look at it, because you're talking about the welfare of a student athlete, you're talking about his family, you're talking about him, you're talking about everything that they put into it. And I know he feels terrible about it, but also it's a great teaching point, it's a great learning lesson. But as we continue to look at how can we better the game, and I'm all for player safety, that's first and foremost. But to answer your question, yes, I do think that there should be a formal process. Maybe it's all the leagues getting together and reviewing those. And like I said, the SEC has done a very good job of everything to this point. But to better the game, and when you're talking about, you know, being in it for the players, I do think that's something that would be very healthy for our game and moving forward.
Coach, since Coach Spurrier left, South Carolina, I think, has won a game and went into a tough place against a good team and gave them all they wanted down at Texas A&M. Is this, in any sense, a more dangerous team or more energized team that makes it a little harder for you?
Well, first of all, it's a talented football team. You can't hide from that. You just have to look at, you know, the players. It's a very, very talented football team. It is a dangerous football team. They're flying around. They're having fun. They're putting it all out there. They're playing with very good effort. You know, they're coming in here expecting to win, and this is going to be a great challenge for us. So when you look at the dynamics, when you look at the talent on this football team, yes, this is a great challenge for our football team, you know, in a lot of regards.
Butch, with the first poll coming out from the College Football Playoff Committee last night, were you surprised at all to see two SEC teams in that first four?
No, and really didn't pay much attention to it. I don't think the polls at this point in time mean anything. I don't even know why we put them out there. You know, I think it's the final one is December 6th. That's the one that counts. That's the one that matters. So really don't put much attention into that. Even if we were involved in that conversation, my response would be the same thing, is, you know, it really doesn't matter until the final poll. That's really the poll that means everything. You guys have a good day.